Hey everyone, Gabriel here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what I think is the easiest way to get started with dropshipping from complete scratch. So if you're a beginner and you've been struggling to just get started, get those first few sales, and you don't have a lot of money to invest, then this is the perfect video for you. This is how I got started with dropshipping, and this is what I would do if I had to start over from scratch. So hopefully this helps you out. So first off, I just want to clarify what I mean by starting from scratch so that we're all on the same page. So by starting from scratch, I mean that you're starting with about $200 in the bank, and that's all you have to your name, and then you also have a credit card. So $200 I think is pretty much the bare minimum that you can have in order to start dropshipping, and it's still really not a lot. If you have more, it's obviously better, but for this video I'm going to be talking about starting from scratch with about $200 and a credit card. A credit card is also necessary because if you start getting some sales and you spend all your money on promotions, there's a delay between the time that you get the sale and when you actually get the money in your bank account, and you're not going to have money to fulfill those orders. So having a credit card is a must. And just for ease of use too, I mean, like, there's so many things that you can just plug your credit card in, and then it makes everything easier. So you definitely want to have a credit card when you're starting out with dropshipping. Your first expenses are going to be $29 for your Shopify plan, plus about $15 for a .com domain name, which leaves you with about $150 left for promos. As for apps for your Shopify store, you can use free trials. Like, pretty much every app has a free trial, so that shouldn't cost you any money. And for themes, like I always recommend just using a free theme and customizing it well. So also you don't need to invest in a free theme. You don't need to invest in a paid theme. So yeah, that leaves you with about $150 left for promotions. So the first step is finding a good product to sell. When you're just starting from scratch and you don't have a lot of budget, there's really no room to test a bunch of different products and find the next big winning product. So what you want to do is you want to find a product that's proven to work and then model your competitors. And the best way that I like to do this is searching on Instagram rather than Facebook. Searching on Facebook works great if you're trying to find, the next big winning product, but the problem is that let's say you get targeted by an ad and it has like 2 million views, a lot of comments and everything, so you're like, wow, this must be a winning product, right? The issue is that you don't know if they spent thousands of dollars in testing to find the right audience for that product. You don't know if they had previous warm audiences for that product to sell to. So you really don't know what the barrier to entry is for that product. It might work really well for them, but if you try to do the same, it wouldn't work because you don't have the same data as them, you don't have the audiences, and you don't have the budget to do a lot of testing like they did. So what I like to do, what I recommend doing if you have a very limited budget, is searching on Instagram for proven products there. Because for Instagram influencers, there's really no barrier to entry. Like, people just message a page, they're like, hey, can I buy a shout out on your page? And then they post it, and you can do the exact same thing, right? There's nothing stopping you from doing the exact same thing. So if you see a product that's constantly being advertised on Instagram, that tells you that the product must be selling, and you can do pretty much the exact same thing. So that's what I like to do to find these products. I like to browse through the Instagram Explore page and see if there's any product that keeps popping up. So you can do this over a few days and just try to pay attention to see if there's a certain product that keeps popping up on your feed. And if you do see a product that keeps popping up like that, it means that that product probably is selling well, right? Because no one's going to keep buying promotions if they're not making money with them. So that's a great way to find these proven products and not waste money testing a bunch of products. So to show you an example of what I mean, I actually scrolled through my Explore feed right before this video, and I found a bunch of ads for the same teeth whitening product. So I took a few screenshots here, but I actually saw the ads like 10 times at least, just one time scrolling through my feed. So that tells you that this product is obviously selling really well on Instagram. and you could model what these guys are doing and do the same thing. So yeah, this is the teeth whitening pen product, and as you can see, 4 different pages, and they're all promoting the exact same thing, and it's getting a lot of engagement. And this is all on the explore page, right? So if something's on the explore page, it obviously means that it's getting a lot of reach. The explore page is kind of when a post goes viral, so these guys are making a lot of money with this product. So once you find a product, you can look it up on AliExpress and get more information about it. So that's what I did here. I just searched teeth whitening pen on AliExpress, sorted by the number of orders, and I found this right here. And as you can see, it has 26,000 orders, which is a lot of orders. So this was obviously a winning product. However, just because it has a lot of orders, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's still selling well. So you can do a little bit more research and get more info. So let me show you how I would do this. So first off, you want to copy the URL and then head to your dropshipping center. So you just go to My AliExpress and then dropshipping center and then product analysis. And then once you're here, you just paste the URL, hit search, and then you can get some information. So look, I mean, there was a huge boost right here. So this was Black Friday, so that makes sense. But as you can see, this product has been getting like 200 orders a day consistently. So, you know, if it has 26,000 orders and it's getting 200 orders a day, that means that it's already been going for at the very least, it's been going for like a few months, like 3-4 months. So, you know, you're not at the start of the trend with this product, but you know, it's obviously still selling well because we're seeing all these ads for it on Instagram. So what this tells me is that, you know, it's maybe not the best time to get into this product for long term because it's getting exhausted. However, it's still selling really well. So you could probably just model what the guys are doing on Instagram and make a quick buck with it. Another thing you can do to find out more about the product is go to Google Trends, type in the product, teeth whitening pen, and this will show us where the product is at in its cycle. So each product kind of have a cycle. It goes up and then it goes down, and we can check out where the teeth whitening pen is at. So as you can see, so this is the United States in the past 12 months, and you know, it really started trending around in July, and then it peaked in October, and then it crashed pretty hard, and now it's going back up again. So now we're at 72% relative search interest. So you know, this tells me that this product is probably kind of in a downtrend now. It's already reached its peak, but it's still working well apparently because I keep seeing ads for it on Instagram. So I wouldn't get into this product for the long term. However, if you wanted to make quick money and if you're just starting out with dropshipping and you're trying to learn how it works, you know, you could try to do the exact same thing that these guys are doing on Instagram, and it would probably work because it seems like it's working for them. So once you find a good product to sell, the next step is setting up a store for that product, and the way that I like to do it is setting up a one product type store, kind of a niche store around that product, and I find that that really helps you get an edge over the competitors who are just selling the product in a general store. So you could kind of make it more branded and build your whole store around that one product. So to see how I do this, I actually have a video on my channel. It's called Free Course Dropshipping in 2019, and I cover exactly how I would build a one product store. So definitely check that out, and I'm not going to be covering it in this video because I already covered it in that one. And another thing is you definitely want to model your competitors and don't reinvent the wheel. So, you know, for example, the product descriptions, you can see if the product description is working well for them, you can base your product description off theirs. So you could pretty much copy theirs, copy it in a Word document, and then start editing, make it more personalized to your website, try to make it better, and then use that. And you know, because you want to save time and you want to move fast and you don't want to reinvent the wheel because you're starting out with $200. You don't have time, and you don't have time to just test around a bunch of different things. You want to find something that's working, model it, build up some capital. So now that you've got your store set up, the next step is actually promoting your store. So when you're starting from scratch, I definitely recommend staying away from Facebook ads because Facebook ads requires a lot of budget for testing. And if you only have $200 and you're a beginner, it's the quickest way to just blow your $200 and then you're going to be done with dropshipping. So stay away from Facebook ads, especially if you have a limited budget and you don't have any prior data to work with. Instead, what I like doing is using Instagram page influencers, so like meme pages, theme pages, that type of thing. And I find that that's a lot easier, and you can just model what the competitors are doing that we found earlier. So one thing that you want to do is install your pixel right away, even before you start running Facebook ads, so that you start collecting all the data about the people who visit your store, people who buy, all that type of thing. So you want to install your Facebook pixel right away so that you can eventually switch to Facebook ads. But when you're just starting out from scratch, I definitely recommend starting with Instagram influencers. You're also going to need to make an ad for the product, so when you're just starting out and you don't want to invest money into actually getting your own ad made, what you can do is just take some clips from YouTube and make your own little montage and make an ad that way. Or you can just steal your competitors' ads. That's what a lot of people do. However, it's unethical and you could definitely get into some copyright issues, so I definitely don't recommend it. But if you're desperate, you gotta do what you gotta do. And make sure to model your competitors' ads, right? You don't want to reinvent the wheel, so don't try to go crazy with it. Just see what's working and then do a similar thing. So you're going to want to find small but engaged pages within your niche. And by small, I mean from 50,000 to 200,000 followers. And that's the range that I found works best to get the highest ROI. So you're not going to get crazy volume with that size of page, but you can get cheap posts and they can go viral and they get a lot of engagement. So usually you'll get a great ROI on these pages. So preferably you want to find pages that don't do promotions yet. Those will definitely give you the best return because, people trust the owner more, and, since they don't do a bunch of promotions, if a page does a bunch of promotions, people kind of start being immune to those ads and they just stop responding to them. Versus a page that's never done a promotion before, it's much more likely that people are going to pay attention to it. So yeah, what I like doing is negotiating for a good rate. Usually I go for 12-hour posts because I found that those give me the best bang for my buck. And I recommend negotiating for $25 or less for those 12-hour posts. It obviously depends on the page, right? So this is just kind of like a benchmark that I put. But you don't want to be spending too much per post, especially because you have a low budget. So negotiate for a good rate. And a good way to get low prices is to say, hey, can I do this much for my first post? And if it does well, I'm going to be buying a bulk deal of like 5 posts or something. And if you do that, they're going to let you, test the page for cheaper, and you can get a great ROI that way. So yeah, like I said, smaller pages usually give the highest ROI, especially if they don't do many promotions. To get the best results with this method, you do need to put a lot of work into finding the best Instagram influencer pages, and that takes some time, but there is one method that I like doing that really saves time, and you can start building a big list of influencers to promote on. So I'm actually going to show you that method right now. So I pulled up my Instagram and I've just been scrolling through the explore page until I found another one of those teeth whitening pen ads. So I just found one right here. As you can see, it's pretty easy to spot them. So you click on it, and then what I like doing is I'll go to the page that they actually promoted on. So Makeup Nen in this case. So that tells you, okay, this page is probably doing well for these guys. You could try to advertise on the same page as them, but this one's a little bit, it's got 930,000 followers, so it's going to be more expensive. Plus, they're already doing business with these guys, so they're not going to want to promote the same product. But what you can do is you just click this little tab here. Oh, battery running low. Click this little tab here, and it's going to give you some suggestions of similar pages. So for example, beauty TV posts, we could go to this page, and then this could be a potential page to promote on. So I will just do this on and on until I find, so like hair clips, potential page, and then you can go again and another suggested, and then it really goes on forever, right? So makeup vab, maybe this could be a good page. So you can do this on and on until you find good pages to promote. And another thing I want to point out quickly about these Instagram influencer promotions is that if you notice this thumbnail right here, this cover for the image that they posted, for the video that they posted, is really eye-catching, right? This is obviously Photoshop, like this is obviously fake, but you can select the cover when you post something on Instagram. When you post a video, you can click, there's a little tab that says cover, and you can select frame in the video to select the cover. So selecting a good cover like this, something that really is gonna kind of like clickbait, right? That's gonna make all the difference for your Instagram influencer promotion. So that's a really important tip. You want to make sure that you're selecting a good cover for your post. But yeah, that's basically one of the easiest ways to find Instagram influencer pages to promote on. Just find your competitors' ads, and then find suggested pages and keep searching, and you can keep looping through until you find something that meets your requirements, which is a smaller page that's really engaged and that doesn't do a lot of promotions. So that's pretty much it for the strategy. When you start getting some orders, that's where using your credit card comes in, and then you can use your credit card to fulfill those orders with Oberlo. I'm not going to be going in depth at all into how do you fulfill orders and how to set up Oberlo and all that stuff, because there's a ton of free content on YouTube, so that shouldn't be a problem to find out how to do that. But yeah, that's where your credit card comes in. And lastly, you just want to rinse and repeat this ad process. So if your first few ads are profitable, you want to keep scaling. So find more influencer pages and just buying more posts, and keep doing this until you start building up some capital. And this is a great way to start getting a feeling for how dropshipping works. Get a first few sales, start learning how to do customer service, all that type of thing. Get in the vibe with dropshipping, and then build up some capital. And when you have about $2,000 in capital, that's when you can start considering really focusing on Facebook ads. And this is exactly what I did. And Facebook ads is going to be a lot easier right off the bat, because you're going to have money to test with, and you're going to have data from your pixel that you installed right from the start. So all the sales that you made on Instagram, all the people who visited your website, all that stuff, you're going to have all that data to work with when you're working with Facebook. And that's going to make things a lot easier. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you want more help with Facebook, I have a whole video on that where I cover everything about Facebook ads. So once again, not covering that in this video, but that's the basic blueprint for how I would get started from scratch, and how I recommend beginners to get started from complete scratch, because this method saves you a lot of guessing. And I see a lot of people, just complete beginners, jumping into Facebook ads, and then they waste a ton of money. They're like down a few $1,000s, just made a few sales, and it's because Facebook ads is tough, especially if you don't have data and you don't have a lot of budget to test with. So this is definitely what I would recommend. So that is pretty much it for this short video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little bit shorter than usual because I'm currently traveling in Costa Rica, and the internet's not great here, and I don't have a good setup to make these videos, so it's a bit harder. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and join the Facebook Mastermind group. If you're a beginner, this is going to be extremely helpful. We got a ton of people helping each other out in there. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.